Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Atlanta Falcon Nation, what it do? What it do? This your boy K Styles, 1/3 of the heavy hitters. Every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. I'll let my boys introduce themselves. Go
You
ahead,
already
Mike.
know.
Let my boy Mad Mike, aka the Mad
Mm-hmm.
Scientist. We got Jew Talk Sports, aka
Jew.
the
I am
voice
Jew
of
Talk
reason,
Sports. No,
the
I'm
calm
Jew
one.
Talk Sports.
Yeah, man. Juju on that beat, whatever y'all want to call me, the voice of reason, all three of them. All of them.
so how we doing today, fellas?
Hey,
On this
man.
Hey man,
Monday after another disappointing loss. How
Hey,
we
I'm
feel?
chilling, man. We got to get back on real quick. We got to turn around. We got to put that game behind us real quick because Thursday coming up real fast. So them guys can't lay around in their misery. They better be ready to play. We only got a couple more days. And I think tomorrow's a traveling day. So it ain't no time to be
mm-hmm.
pouting. Ain't no time to be thinking about last week because this week is right here. It's coming up fast. So them guys better
Okay.
get ready.
Okay, so before we get to the three keys to victory, I'm gonna give a couple shout outs to the boy 34 ATM 05, Jerry Bowie, Ezekiel King. And hey, you got Jude Talk Sports, you got Jeffrey Reed saying what's good.
Yeah, that's my
So
pops. That's pops in the chat. What's up,
and I
Pop?
would say Mark 504, but he already trolling. So we're gonna move past that. We're gonna get straight to these three keys of
Oh,
victory.
pops.
Mike, I'll let go ahead and start it off. What you think?
Hey man, I think it's quite simple to be honest. From what I've seen in these games, there's one, and I got to start it um, off proper. I got to start this. Turn this mother out. Turn this mother out. I'm just going back to the 80s with MC Hammer and Deion Sanders. Y'all don't know nothing about that. When they was on the sideline, too legit to quit. Y'all don't know nothing about that. But I'm gonna say this, man. The first one, obvious for me, and I think this is most important. I typically keep the last and most important one for last, to be honest. But coaches just got to stop losing games. Coaches just have to stop losing games for these players. Got to put them in position to succeed. We see this time and time again where coaches make questionable decisions and coaches not doing their best to get quarterbacks in rhythm in the first quarter. That's what we saw. We saw Raheem Morris make a questionable decision whether or not to go for it on fourth down. Honestly, at the time, I thought it wasn't the smartest thing to do. It's the fourth quarter. Yeah, you have an opportunity to score there, but at the same time, it's a huge risk. You're down 1 point. You're down 1 point. At the time, I think they were down. They were tied. No, they were down 1 point. You kicked the field goal. You up 4 points, and honestly, it came back to bite us not going for the field goal. They still would have won the game if they would have won for the field goal and hit the field goal. You're talking about the Falcons still win by 3 points, 2 points, at least 1 point. No, they would have lost. They would have won by 1 point. They would have won by 1 point had they just went for the field goal. They didn't do that. Coaches cannot continue to take games away from the players. This is what we see every time, all the time. This is what I've been. That's why I went out on the limb and I said I was Vic #1 supporter. Why? Because these coaches put players in positions where they're not getting the maximum. They're not putting these guys in, putting them in position to have the maximum effect. The maximum effect to play hard on the field when they have their opportunities. Reason why I say this, you look at Isaiah Oliver. Isaiah Oliver is a what? He's a man corner, a physical corner, and you consistently put him in positions where he's playing off coverage bail. He doesn't have the speed. He doesn't have the ball awareness, and you keep putting him in positions to fail. He's not a cover 3 corner. AJ is not a cover 3 corner. These guys are man. They're physical. And I did the breakdown of AJ. I did a breakdown of AJ and show his physicality. The guy loves to get physical. Isaiah Oliver plays better when he's physical. We've been saying this. AJ Terrell's been playing amazing. Isaiah Oliver has been playing well. He hasn't been bad. He hasn't been playing bad. Is he great? Absolutely not. But he's not as terrible as people keep saying he is. Know what I'm saying? So coaches got to stop. Coaches have to stop. They must stop putting these players in position to fail. Go for the field goal. No, we can't keep a goddamn 3 lead. We can't keep a 20-point lead. Does it really matter how many damn points we up? We just need to get it. We just need to get at this point, we just need to find Jesus, okay? Let's just find Jesus and pray to Jesus, pray to Allah, whoever you want to pray for. Because that's the only thing that's going to keep this team keep a lead. That's it. That's the only thing that's going to keep a lead.
All right, Drew, what you got, man?
Hey, man. My 3 keys to victory is simple. We talk about it every week. Jerry just said it right here in the chat. It starts with our pass rush. Like us playing that cover 3 zone. If you're going to play that cover 3, you have to be able to get home with that front 4. We've seen that at the end of the game in a lot of these games that we've lost. At the end of the game, the reason we're losing these games at the end is because we don't have the pass rush to close these games out. And that's what really hurt us against Detroit. That's what hurt us in that game against Chicago, is basically getting pressure on the quarterback. So really what I think we need to do, my pops was saying it in the chat, we have to make adjustments. Like heading into this game against the Carolina Panthers, at the end of the game, if it's close and it comes down to a last drive and the Panthers have the ball, we need to start blitzing. We have to send the blitz, because if you notice in this last game, one thing you guys know that I wasn't huge on the Dan Quinn bringing in an interim head coach, because I felt like the interim guys or the guys that were his assistants, they were sipping the Dan Quinn Kool-Aid. And we noticed that last week. It happened with Raheem Morris. He basically down the stretch did the same thing that Dan Quinn would have did. Played the cover 3 and lived and died by it, playing that soft zone coverage, which got us beat once again. So I feel like in this game coming up, if it comes down to the last possession and Carolina has the ball, we need the blitz. We need to send the blitz, because like I said, this last game, one thing I can say about Raheem Morris, when he actually took over as head coach, he's starting to disguise. These guys look like they're disguising the blitz better. Because this last game, I love the blitz schemes I've seen. I think it was Keanu Neal had a sack, and also Deion Jones had a sack. And it was like perfect. He came right up the A gap, and it was nothing that Stafford could do, because Deion Jones, his speed, like that ball has to come out quick. And if it's not like a quick screen pass or something like that, you're not going to be able to get that ball off that quick, and you're not going to outrun Deion Jones. I see someone in the chat talking about Kendall Sheffield. I'm not even going to lie. Kendall Sheffield sucks last game, but it's cool. Let's hope he has a better game on Thursday. I don't know about that. To me, the secondary has been playing well. So I don't know about that comment from Muhammad. Personally, I don't really think that Kendall Sheffield is playing bad. I really think that you can't expect a secondary to play well when you don't have no pass rush. And that's really what we're seeing. Like, they're not getting no pressure on the quarterback. So if you're playing a cover 3 or
playing that cover 3.
Broke up.
Oh,
yeah. Can you hear me pretty well?
I can hear you there. But for what you were saying,
you own
Well, technical difficulties going on right now, but I can kind of agree with him on the cover 3.
We lost Mike too, huh?
Well, this the bootleg version of the show. They bear with us. Go ahead, Jude. What you talking about?
We've been hacked. No. Yeah.
Don't tell me Tad
Every day,
McKinley. Don't tell me Tad McKinley doesn't hack this shit again.
Hey, now Tatton came in here. They didn't send somebody in here. Carolina then corrupted our show, y'all. But like I was saying, man, my 3 keys could be the same thing because Mike touched on what I wanted to touch on in my second key to victory. I talked about the coaching, but mainly, like I said, it's mainly pass rush. That's the biggest problem I'm seeing with this team. It's the pass rush. Like I was touching on the fans' comment about Kendall Sheffield. Like to me, Kendall Sheffield is not playing bad. Really, nobody in the secondary at this point, since Raheem Morris has taken over, is playing bad. Even Isaiah Oliver has looked better, but Mike's talked about it before. I feel like Raheem Morris is doing a better job of kind of hiding him and keeping a safety over top of him and helping. And they're playing more aggressive. So I really don't think that the secondary is playing bad. I really think that the main issue is the pass rush. So being that our pass rush right now is so suspect, I would be sending the blitz. We got to go back to the grits blitz, and we just got to get after these guys. Teddy Bridgewater will come out quick in this game because it came out quick last game. So in this game, it's mainly going to be about putting pressure on Teddy Bridgewater, getting your hands up, trying to bat and tip a ball, and getting turnovers, because that's something that I noticed about last game as well. Against Minnesota, if you guys remember, we had 3 interceptions in that first half. I think against Detroit, we didn't have no turnovers. I don't think that they fumbled or we got any interceptions last game. And if you remember, Matt Ryan had a fumble. So, we got to get turnovers. We talked about it before. Raheem Morris made it real simple. Defense, take the ball away, prevent them from scoring. Offense, go score the ball. And I'm going to leave it at that, K-Styles. You can go ahead and run with it, man. But pass rush. That's my 3 keys to victory. It's all about pass rush and affecting the quarterback.
Can I go real fast? I just want to say the other 2 real quick.
Go ahead, man.
That like I said, everybody keep talking about Isaiah Oliver, man. Isaiah Oliver isn't a problem. Isaiah Oliver actually has been playing much better, and I would appreciate if the Falcons just get their knowledge up and actually decide to watch real film and stop listening to PFF and looking at PFF scores and listening to ESPN and listening to these dumbass people that are actually writing for these ridiculous companies. I won't say the name, but they know who they are. Stop listening to those people. He's actually playing much better, and this is why I have to check people all the time. Playing in the secondary, and if you got one particular weakness in your secondary and they keep going to that one single guy, that's not that one guy's problem. You're doing a horrible job as a coach of hiding him. This is what your boy Drew just said. You got to do a better job of hiding your weaknesses. If teams are continuously going at one particular player, you're not doing a very good job of hiding your weakness. Okay? They know your weakness. How should you react? By adjusting. It's quite simple. It's not hard. If somebody keep punching you in the face on your right eye, if I keep that punching you in your right eye, what you gonna do? Cover up the left eye? No, you're gonna cover up the right eye. Duh. This is the stuff that I'm talking about. So if they continuously picking on one particular person, do something about it. Second one, keep giving the ball to Todd Gurley. Keep doing it because they can't handle the physicality. They can't handle his physicality. He's a big running back, and he deserves a lot of respect. But to go along with that offensive line, Caleb McGarry, oh my Jesus. Caleb McGarry is turning into an absolute monster. The dude he's turning into a beast. Him and Chris Lindstrom got something to say. So they got to continue to pound these guys, hitting that rock, and putting the body on the body. Third one, and most importantly, fans got to shut the fuck up. Fans got to shut the fuck up. Yeah, shut the fuck up. Shut the hell up. shut your asses up because you don't know what you're talking about. Why do I say that? Because you're pissing off not just you pissing off me, you're pissing off the players. This actually does affect people. There are people also. So when you go on Instagram and saying this, and then you go into the game, and this is going to be my rant, my 2-point conversion. You go into games and vandalizing people crap. That does affect people on the field. So if we're going to win, let's get behind these players. Support goes a long way. So we got to support these guys. Even if they're 1-6, support them, bro. Support doesn't cost you anything. It doesn't. So go ahead, Kev. Do your thing, bro.
But before I get to mine, I'm going to just give a couple more shout-outs. William, Amy, Slim Kid, 730. Fly Eagle, Fly for Life. But it's pretty much going to go to basically what it said about the pass rush. I mean, for the love of God, the last time we played them, Teddy Bridgewater was sitting back there calling an Uber. For his bottom bitches because he was not getting touched.
You know what?
But I will say this. I'm glad I said that too because it leads now to this is gonna be a new exclusive 3 types of stupid award that's gonna go for the way for. That's going for the coaching staff that blew that, like I said. Right, like I said, Raheem Morris, you cannot backtrack and say, "Oh, we should have nailed it." Like I said, if you ran it with Todd Gurley, stand on it. That's the part of coaching that is underrated. If you make a mistake, stand on it. Yeah, I'd have made mistakes before. Shit, I'm fat now. I'm standing on it. Whatever. But I digress from my point. Like I said, basically pass rush. That's it. Like I said, don't do the same thing twice. You gotta be unpredictable. That's what because if you sitting there and you playing soft shell, and like you said, you know your pass rush ain't getting there. Fuck it. Send 2 more linebackers, send a corner. Do it for 60 damn minutes. Like I said, that's gonna be my automatic one of my top 3 keys every week now. It's 60 minutes.
Pretty much the same shit every week.
Exactly. I'm listening
they didn't
to
listen
a Drake.
to what you said. Do what you did last week.
Yeah. I'm sitting here listening to a Drake album all over again. Like, damn, bro. Maybe she will.
Maybe
I'm just leave it at that.
You know, I haven't heard about Denard. I got to look into that. But the only person that's hurt right now, of course, we all know is Tech.
John Kaminsky's still on the COVID list. Marlon Davidson came off the COVID list, but John Kaminsky's still on the COVID list. He's the only one still on there. So, but my dad was just saying in the chat, here y'all go, y'all. Dumb, Dumber, and Dumber, Ed, and Eddie, whatever y'all want to say. We continue to do dumb things. I talked about it last week with our coaching smart. And that's why it's like, it's just what K-Sauce just saying. Like, the coaching staff, just double down on what you did. If you decided to go for it, like you said, hindsight is always 20/20. Like, if we would have picked it up, he would have been the genius. But when it's 4th and 5, I feel like the biggest problem I had with them going for it is our defense was actually playing pretty well. So if you got the lead 4-4, like, it's different if it's kind of like, okay, we're in a game where they're scoring touchdowns. Like against Green Bay, they were going down scoring touchdowns. I feel like don't come in, and Mike talked about this last week after the game. Don't come into the game like to me, they're coming into the game with a preset game plan, and they're not making adjustments during the game. Every game is different. So you can't come to the game and say, well, we get on the 50-yard line, we're going to go for it. It doesn't work like that. Like, you have to, like what Mike was saying, make in-game adjustments. It can't be, well, this is our game plan and we're going to stick to it. It got to be based off of, okay, is our defense playing well? Okay, if our defense is playing well, then okay, we can kick the field goal and go up by 4 because they might stop them and not let them get in field goal range. If it's a game where, okay, they're scoring touchdowns every time, like a nosebleed, like in Green Bay, where we couldn't stop them, okay, well, we're going to have to go for it now and play ultra aggressive because field goals is not going to be enough to beat this team. But you can't come into the game and say, well, if we get on this yard line, we're going to automatically go for it. It don't work that way. You have to make the in-game adjustments, and that's one of the big things I'm seeing with our coaching staff is they're not making in-game adjustments. It's like they're coming into the game with their game plan, with certain plays they're going to run, and they're not making those adjustments. And that's a huge issue. And that's one of the biggest issues that I'm noticing, especially with these going for it on 4th down, saying we're trying to play aggressive. It's not about playing aggressive all the time. It's about playing smart. And sometimes when you play smart, that is being aggressive.
Can we do either one, aggressive or smart? I'll ask for anything right at this point.
Exactly.
I'm about to say we bring Mr. Coach Clyde out there.
Hey, that's my girl, my Falcons girl.
Asia Harrison the Bunny. Rodney Reed, what it do? Welcome
and shout out to Jules' dad for tuning in. We got to give him a big shout out.
OG.
Shout out to Pop. Shout out to the wife.
Gianni Phillips, they won't change because their defensive philosophy rush 4, drop 7. 4-3 does emphasize. You know what? I'm getting echoes in my ear. Hold on. Y'all go ahead and finish that.
But basically, Gianni saying basically rush 4, drop 7. I like if your defensive line is too small for that.
Yeah.
That's basically what you've been saying the whole time. That's what Mike been saying the whole time.
It's not even that they too small, really. They are small, but the problem is they're not getting home. I don't care if they were getting home. I don't care how small they were if they could get home with 4, but we're not getting home with 4. So the problem is you're not affecting the quarterback. Like, they're not feeling no pressure, and they have all day to throw. And to expect those guys, like if you heard at the end of the game, they were talking about Keanu Neal was saying we were supposed to plaster. You only can plaster those guys for so long. Like if you remember on that last play of the game when they scored the touchdown, Wilson was in the backfield. Stafford was in the backfield scrambling. Then he stepped up in the pocket. Dante Fowler was on his left. He went by him. The offensive tackle laid on top of him, and Stafford ran right up the middle and threw the ball to Hockenson. Hockenson wasn't, like, if you go back and look at the tape or the film, Hockenson wasn't open right away. DJ Shockley broke it down on AtlantaFalcons.com. He wasn't open right away. It was him being mobile in the pocket, Stafford, which created the time for him to get open, because you can only plaster those guys for so long. So without getting a holding penalty, because these guys are breaking off their routes by that. Like if you got 6 and 7 and 8, 6, 7, 8 seconds back there as a quarterback with no pressure, guys are going to get open in that zone. There's too many holes. Guys are going to get open. Because when I look at that play, if you go back and look at that last play of the game, Hockenson wasn't the only guy open. It was another guy that broke wide open as well. Stafford just decided to throw it to Hockenson. So I blame the pass rush, and I blame you have to be aggressive. We should have blitzed them on that play, because if you blitz, you make the ball come out fast. Yeah, you might have to play some one-on-one coverage, or yeah, it may be more openings. But if you press up, play tighter coverage, and you blitz, Stafford is not the most fleet of foot. Yeah, he can scramble a little bit, but if you blitz Deion Jones or you blitz a corner, they're going to get there fast. So he's going to have to let that ball go, and that ball is probably not going to be as accurate if he can't set his feet. And that was proven during the game. When he got sacked on those plays, it was nothing he could do. He was dead to rights with Deion Jones coming right up the nose like that, coming through the A gap. And that's just adjustments. We keep talking about it. Like, they knew we were going to go into that soft cover 3, and Stafford knew he was going to have time. If we would have blitzed on the one play when he threw it down the field to Golladay on that last drive, when he threw it like 50 yards, he had time, because he had time to let Golladay get down the field, because we only rushed 4. And what did he do? Scramble just like he did on the last play, stepped up in the pocket, and just threw the ball down the field. And real talk, if you look at that last play, Keanu Neal also was that was a pass interference on Keanu Neal. They just didn't call
All right, Mike, what's your take on it? Oh, what he just said.
I think he's absolutely. This is what I've always said about the Falcons, and it's not a matter of talent. It's not a matter of which coverage that they are playing at the particular time. Because truth is, the cover 3 does work. The cover 2 works. Man works. But the issue is adjusting, the lack thereof. And while I alluded to on the post game, I keep saying the exact same thing. They come in with a preconceived idea of this is what we're going to do. And no matter what look that they get from whether it's the offense or the defense or special teams, they're going to stick to that game plan. And that's the wrong mindset to have during the game. They go into the game saying, guess what? If it's 3rd and 5, let's just say, if it's 3rd and 5, we don't get it, we're going to go for it. That's a preconceived mindset before you even think about what you're going to do or assess the situation. They're going to go for it. They're not looking at the score. They're not looking at if the defense is tied or the offense is tied. They're not looking at any of that. They are going to go for it. And see, this is why they lose games, because you don't have the in-game adjustment. You got to be present. And oftentimes you don't see them present. In the first quarter of the game, you saw the Falcons were just not in a rhythm. Matt Ryan and the offense, they were not in a rhythm. The passing game, they were not in a rhythm. It's simple. If they're not in a rhythm, you go to a West Coast offense with short passes. This is how they beat Seattle. When Matt Schaub, the offense wasn't in a rhythm. They got into a rhythm, and they had all game long. All they did was short passes. Just let the athletes be athletes. That's how you get quarterbacks in the rhythm. It doesn't matter if you are Drew Brees, who can't throw the ball 15 yards down the field. You got to use the short passes to get the quarterback into a rhythm. And when he's a rhythm, that's when you can attack downfield, because the quarterback is in a rhythm. He's not worried about them blitzing or whatever. He's in a rhythm. He feels good. He got his blood flowing. Matt Ryan, those guys were not in the rhythm. Julio was not in the rhythm. Calvin Ridley, those guys were just not in the rhythm. But instead of him going to a short passing game, what he did was continue to throw the ball downfield or try to attack downfield. And this is the issue that I got with the Falcons offensive, the coaching staff. They go in the game with a preconceived idea of what they want to do, and they're going to try to see that through no matter what. And this is why we consistently lose games, because they go in games with an idea, this is what we're going to do no matter what, and they get blown out. And they try to do something different, but when it's too late, the other team is in a rhythm, ain't nothing you can do. So it's the Falcons coaching, man. I said this over and over again. This team has the talent. They have talent all across the board. You look at Michael Walker, he's playing his lights out. Foye Oluokun is the best linebacker on his team right now. I love Dion, but Foye is playing out of his freaking mind right now. He's the best linebacker. I will say this, he's the best player on the team right now. He's playing the best ball. Besides Matt Ryan, Foye Oluokun is the best player on this team, especially on the defensive side of the ball. This dude is all places. Mm-hmm. We can't have this crap, man. So that's it. That's all I got, bro.
Shit, 54 was tattooed on my TV, boy.
Bro, I'm trying to tell you. Foye Oluokun is right. Like I said, he's the best. Behind Matt Ryan, he's the best player. It's close between him and Calvin Ridley, but Matt Ryan, the best player on the team right now, and Foye Oluokun is right there with. Foye is all over the place. I dare anybody to look at the game and go back and tell me that Foye is not making plays. That dude, all over the place.
I can say that how Raheem went into the first practice, it was a lot of we feel uncomfortable. He was showing his little guns and shit. It didn't seem like it was the same thing. I think he got comfortable, like, okay, I feel like I know these guys a little bit more, and I think they're good. They know what they're supposed to be doing.
Mm-hmm.
We'll just see how it goes. No, you got to have that each and every time that these guys practice. Like, that wasn't no good. Yeah, you won, but there's a lot of mistakes that I've seen that need to be improved. So, you go in there with a mindset that we got to do way better than we did. Yes, we are capable of winning, but let's look at these game films and figure out what it was that, messed us up, because it could have been way better than that. Yeah, we won, but I wasn't satisfied with it. Definitely not.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We just need a coach that's going to keep it the same each and every time. And Raheem is just there with a paycheck at this point. But it's like, you will want to audition and want to be a coach, So the spotlight is on you. This is the time where you turn this team around and make a point.
Yeah, I mean, no, he can't. Like you say, he can't use that Minnesota game as an audition. Oh yeah, I'm ready to be a head coach. Nah, it don't look like that. Like I said, the main thing is you gotta, like you said, you gotta be better next week than you was the previous week. Mistake is on film every game, no matter if you win or lose. Because at the end of the day, those mistakes makes you a better football team. Mm-hmm. And I look at Smitty saying they need discipline.
Oh, I agree with that.
Right. They need mental discipline. Like I said,
shows.
Like I said, you want to have that fire, your ass is online. Don't revert back to the Dan Quinn mindset there. Like I say, it's going to be the same story all over again.
You know what it is? They're accustomed to it.
Yes.
That's it.
Culture.
Mm-hmm. So you're not going to, once you get that out of their system, it's going to always be there. Mm-hmm. This is what this is how they operate. This is how they've been rolling for a few years now. So you have to embed that out of their brains that, oh, it's okay. I'll have a paycheck. You know what I'm saying?
You know what? And you know what? I keep saying this over and over again. I keep saying this over and over again. Rex Ryan, dog. Rex Ryan is a complete asshole. You need a complete asshole. Don't give a dang about nobody. Mm-hmm. That's what you need. You need a Brian Cox. You need a Rex Ryan. Hell, you may even need a what's the Giants president? Tom Coughlin.
Tom Coughlin.
Maybe you need a guy. Maybe you need a complete ass wipe on your team, because these guys are soft and they're complacent, and it's like, okay, we win one game, it's just like, oh, back to the same stuff. We're good again.
We got this.
We're good again.
We know how to win.
We got it. Mm-hmm. And then here we go. We do the exact same way.
But it actually went to your point you said last time. You, like you said, you might have to just get rid of this. You might have to chop this whole coaching staff. Because at the end of the day, it's the culture.
Exactly.
Yeah, everybody.
It's coming, bro.
Because regardless of who we hold on to as far as a coach, offensive, defensive, anyone, they still gonna have that same mindset.
Yep.
Yeah, we talked about it, and that's why they want the interim coach. That's why they want an interim head coach. This is exactly why they want an interim head coach, because everybody thought that it was just Dan Quinn. But what y'all got to realize, Dan Quinn hired his staff. So these guys, Jeff Ulbrich, all these guys, you're gonna still see that soft, that cover three. Like they were drinking the Dan Quinn Kool-Aid. Believe it or not, they were drinking the Kool-Aid. Now I can't say that the players have played harder, because it's evident. You turn the film on for the first 5 games, and then you turn the game on for Minnesota. You turn the game on last week. The defense is playing totally different. Guys are flying around. It looked like with Dan Quinn, the guys had lost heart. So I think that they did need a new voice. But as far as making the boneheaded mistakes, not knowing complimentary football, not knowing clock management, like any coach knows, like, why is Todd Gurley even being handed the football and telling the to go and lay down on the 1 yard line? Like, you kneel and you kick the field goal. Like, we've been going through this since Super Bowl. We've been going through this since the Super Bowl. That was 2016. We still having the same conversations from 4 years ago. That's the same thing we said in the Super Bowl. All we had to do once Julio Jones caught the ball on the sideline, you kneel the ball 3 times, you bring Matt Bryant out for a field goal, you take the lead, and that's an insurmountable lead. Same thing in this game. The Lions were out of timeouts. You kneel the ball. You don't say, he said, well, we put the ball in Todd Gurley's hands because I didn't trust Matt Ryan. Like, that don't even make sense. Like, don't lie. Just tell the truth. You didn't know the clock management. He didn't realize until after the game that he could have been it. He didn't. He just didn't know. He said that.
Hold on.
He said that.
Hold on, go. Wait a minute. Go back.
He said that. Raheem Morris, if you go watch his interview today, said, I put the ball in Todd Gurley's hands.
He didn't trust Matt Ryan with the ball.
I didn't trust Matt Ryan. He said Matt Ryan is not used to carrying the ball. You know, sometimes guys pile up on the quarterback. And they were like, well, if you kneel the ball, they're not going to jump on Matt Ryan if he just steps back and kneels.
He has the ball in his hands 90% of the time. How do you not trust the quarterback? He has the ball in the hand every play. What are you talking about?
That's what it is.
The bottom line is he was trying to save his bacon, Mike. The bottom line is you could tell when he said it that he was not telling the truth. Like, he was lying. It's easy to say the man was lying because we were on like the 10-yard line when Todd Gurley ran the ball. I think it was like on the 10 or the 7-yard line. Like, it took Todd Gurley a minute to get to the end zone. He was literally carrying somebody that let him go, and that's his momentum carried him into the end zone. The problem was we're on the 10-yard line. Young Wei Koo can make an extra point. Just kneel. 3 kneels and the game is over.
Running back kicked in. That was it. You saw it.
It showed that they just don't trust any of their players, to be real.
Well,
wow.
Well, then that leads to my powder toast moment of the day goes to Raheem.
I was waiting on it.
That stupid ass comment.
Who is it today?
And it will be Raheem Morris for that stupid ass comment I just heard.
Go back and watch.
Yeah, you got to go back and play it.
Y'all got to go watch it. It was terrible. My thing is, like you said, Kevin, own it.
Own it. You got to own your mistakes. That's where your balls drop as a coach. You own your mistakes.
Yeah.
But we done went through this with the Seattle game where he talking about he game plan for Chris Carson instead of Russell Wilson. He went. I forgot another game he did. Goddamn, it's 6 of them in the L column, so I forgot what other game he did in that one. Nah, bruh. You can't go. You can't do that.
We know all the coaches get the powder toast award for us not knowing how to recover an onside kick, telling the guys to back away from the football like it's a bomb out there on the field.
Yeah, like, bro, this ain't Vietnam. Goddamn. What you talking about?
Nah, man, Raheem, you can't do that, man. You trying to get a head coaching job. You can't do that. He literally just killed his head coaching thing with that statement alone. That's your franchise quarterback.
Because notice Blank came on that field and was right there in the back. Just like, you know, he only do that when he pissed off.
He got them arm folds like he about to go chop somebody's head off.
He watching everything, man.
The problem is, like K-Style said, stop backtracking. Our coaches need to stop backtracking. If you went for it, just stand behind what you did. We was trying to be aggressive. They keep asking you the same question. You keep repeating the same answer. I was trying to be aggressive. If it come up and they ask you the question a different way, I was trying to be aggressive. But when you start backtracking, and this is what we talk about identity, and that's what Mike's talking about. Rex Ryan, when he give you his answer, he gonna stand flat-footed on his answer. He not gonna backtrack and say, well, I could have did this. Well, I could have did that. He gonna say, I blitzed because I felt like that was the best thing to do. And they asked him another question. I blitzed because I thought it was the best. Like, he's not gonna be doing too much backtracking. That's the problem. Dan Quinn was doing it, and now Raheem Morris is doing the same exact thing. Stand on your word.
Stand on your word. Exactly, man. Oh my God, I can't believe he said that. Like quarterbacks are the most sure-handed players on the field. Like, how do you say with a straight face that you don't trust a quarterback to handle it? That's what they do. Every single player is handle the ball. What the hell are you talking about? Like, bro, you kidding me?
He forgot they snapped the ball to the quarterback when you get in the victory formation. I ain't never seen somebody put their running back there in victory formation and take a kneel.
We have a question right here. I hate to suggest this, but do you think that the Falcons will entertain the thought of an Alex Mack trade?
I wouldn't if you got any sense. If you got any sense, I always talk about the trenches. Hey, Alex Mack is the guy to make all the calls. Him and Matt Ryan, they're like one brain. Those guys, he's the one making all the line calls. He's the one that was helping the Caleb McGarry's, the Chris Lindstrom's that's right next to him, the guards and stuff like that. He's the guy that's telling those guys what to do. So he's kind of like the brains on the field. And I like Alex Mack because Alex Mack is just one of those, those hard-nosed players. Like if you watch him, he's one of those players that plays through the echoes of the whistle. Like you'll see him running downfield on a running play, and he'll be pushing him and Chris Lindstrom. I seen Chris Lindstrom one game help pull Todd Gurley into the end zone. I think that was against Green Bay. It was kind of like he just helped push him into the end zone. And Alex Mack is one of them same type of players where you see him pushing the pile, and he's just one of the smartest players on the team. So I feel like you never should get. That's like saying get rid of your quarterback. Alex Mack is the brains of that offensive line. Without him, and that's why I really like. My heart stopped a little bit on Sunday when he went down with that injury. I was like, I hope it ain't serious. Because when I seen, I was like, oh man, that's Alex Mack down. I was like, I hope that Hennessy don't have to play the center position because he has no experience. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, Alex Mack keeps everybody in line, everybody on the offense. So I wouldn't even entertain a trade for Alex Mack. You can't replace that. Go and ask the Saints when they let go of when they traded Jimmy Graham. And they went and got Max Unger. That was the Seahawks traded for Jimmy Graham. I think they regretted, trading for Jimmy Graham and letting go of Max Unger because Max Unger was one of those guys just like Alex Mack. He was the brains of that offensive line, and right after he left, like trust me, Russell Wilson was running for his life.
Oh, I can give you a perfect example of that too. Jeff Saturday and Peyton Manning.
Ooh,
like that when Jeff Saturday was gone, Peyton Manning started getting hurt.
Yeah.
Like I said, that quarterback center combo, like I said before, is one of the most important relationships to have on that field. And I don't think you want Hennessy right now because if he's making the calls, he's gonna be looking like he drunk some Hennessy during the game. But you need Alex Mack to mold him because Hennessy is going to take some time. That's a project right there. What you think about that, Mike?
I echo you guys' exact sentiment. I just don't think you do that. If anything, you offer him a contract, an extension at this point, and try to sell him on the next coach. Bring in a head coach like a Rex Ryan or Wade Phillips, or even bring in Bieniemy, but you bring in a veteran defensive coordinator. Todd Bowles is a guy that I would even look at to bring in also. I think he's doing a wonderful job in Tampa. This is one thing that I've always stated with a lot of people that I will not name, but everybody says that it's impossible to turn a defense around in a year. Todd Bowles did it. Rex Ryan did it. Don Martinelli did it. So to tell me that the Falcons don't have enough pieces to turn this defense around to make it a respectable defense, that's absolutely false. We've seen this before. Tampa, they were 32nd in the next year with Todd Bowles at the helm, calling plays for that defense, and they still don't have the best secondary. Like let's make that clear. They don't have the best secondary. Those guys not very good. He does a great job of making the quarterback uncomfortable. That's what Todd Bowles do. So what I would do is bring in a guy like Todd Bowles, a young offensive coordinator you can groom to become the next head coach for the Atlanta Falcons. But they need, at this point in time, until Matt Ryan is no longer an Atlanta Falcons, draft a quarterback in the second, third round to kind of sit behind Matt Ryan for the next year or 2, 3 years. But bringing a guy like Todd Bowles can turn this team around in no time, turn that defense around in no time. I'm not concerned about the offense. No one should be concerned about this offense. They're still, at this point in time, Matt Ryan is the number one passing quarterback in the league. Look it up, number one. So I'm not worried about the offense. The offense is going to be offense. You need a guy that can come in and turn around his defense. So when it all comes down to it, man, the narrative for me, man, you just at this point, you just have to stop. And I'm seeing stuff in the comment section. They talk about Dante Fowler as a bust and all that. Even that's absolutely false. It's
futuristic. Our phone line is not up, so they'll call and with no line to answer. Don't do that.
Yeah, the phone line is not up at the time, but
we should put that up though. I don't never get it set up.
Hey, we got shit to do, man.
Y'all can have some people call in. That'd be wonderful.
Goddamn anime.
I'm vouching for y'all. If you want to call in.
Hey, yeah, we'll get that up. We'll get that up.
Blame Mad Mike.
Wow, you gonna put me on the spot?
Really anime.
Yeah.
Wow,
I blame all of y'all.
Hey,
Sean, like who to say that Todd Bowles want to be a defensive coordinator? If you offer that man a head coaching job, you think he won't take it in Atlanta with Matt Ryan and Julio Jones? You think this dude won't do that? Man, stop smoking that green. Or I say that speed. You know, y'all need to start that speed, bro. Like y'all really need to start that speed. Anybody? You see what Kyle Shanahan did? Kyle Shanahan got a head coaching job because he came to Atlanta. He got a head coaching job because he came to Atlanta. Dirk Cutter got a head coaching job because he was in Atlanta. Mike Mularkey got a head coaching job because he was in Atlanta. So Top's telling me that it's not going to do it.
We got somebody shooting a shot over here.
oh
Lord.
I'll take the $500 though. Y'all are no good.
Blah. Wait a minute.
tell him, Maggie, I'm not for sale. She not for sale.
We don't sell them over here.
That's right.
They go down to Ford Industrial with that.
Y'all come
We'll still take that
correct.
500 though.
Y'all come
Look
correct.
at this shirt. Trust me, you'll get beat up.
Yeah. But yeah, like I said, I agree with Mike. Like I said, offense ain't the problem. Hell, the last game just showed you that. If you got your head coach talking about we should have kneeled, like I said, if they gonna go for the touchdown and should have kneeled, he had no trust in his defense. Bruh, defense gave up a 65-yard drive in less than 60 seconds.
Yeah.
On 3 throws.
Exactly.
That's bad.
That just sums
That's
up.
horrible.
That just sums up what the play calling been.
Exactly.
What more can we say?
Yeah, man. I'm about to address this Dante Fowler blasphemy in this chat because I don't like it.
Yeah, go ahead. I was about
Like-
to do it, but go ahead.
Y'all know Dante
Yeah.
Fowler, my guy, but I guess they won't watch it on Sunday when he came down on that goal line, top and blew Adrian Peterson up in the backfield. One thing about Adrian Peterson, he's a hard runner. Yeah, I ain't seen him get blown up many times, but Dante Fowler blew him up on that fourth down. This is the second week in a row that Dante Fowler had a stop on fourth down coming off the edge. I know you guys are looking for all of the sack numbers, but you got to look at the whole complete game. You can't just look at numbers. Mike's been saying this for a long time. He made a whole video about Grady Jarrett. Y'all go check Mad Mike's channel out. And this was a while ago, but he talked about it. We always look at the glitz and glamour. We never look at what guys do, like what kind of effect they have on the game. Dante Fowler, the reason I was saying everybody was asking, who's the lead on this defense? Who's that lightning rod on this defense? It's Dante Fowler. Did y'all see him get that stop? And then he started, even though there ain't many people in the stadium, I don't know who he was telling to make noise, but he was pointing to somebody telling them make noise after he made that stop, and then they knocked his helmet off, and then he got that penalty for taking his helmet off. Dante Fowler is a lightning rod. He's going to be a player. If Rex Ryan comes here, he's not letting go of Dante Fowler. Dante Fowler is one of those players that lights a fire up under these guys. He's a motivational type player. And to me, the reason that Dante Fowler isn't playing or he doesn't have the sack numbers is because we're getting no push up the middle. Like, we're not getting no push up the middle. It's the same thing when we had Vic Beasley. Like Vic Beasley, and that's why Mike and Mike were we were supporters of Vic Beasley because we rely too much on one player. We're expecting Dante Fowler to come in here and be the savior, but that's not realistic. It's the same thing with Aaron Donald. You guys go watch the Super Bowl that Aaron Donald played in. He didn't have any sacks in that game. He didn't even have any tackles for loss in that game. And that's because the Rams defense relies heavily on him. It's the same thing with Dante Fowler. When he came in, we're expecting Dante Fowler to get 10 plus sacks, but it's not realistic because, to be honest, I thought this defensive line for the Falcons was going to be a lot better. And the reason I thought that coming into the season is because I talked about the depth that we had. But if we be honest, we haven't been healthy the whole season. Like Marlon Davidson, he was supposed to be the guy to come in and be that guy next to Grady Jarrett to, help him with those double teams, get those double teams off him. And Marlon Davidson hasn't even played really this year. He's played 3 games because he was on the COVID list, and then he came into the season with that knee injury. John Kaminsky, he's another guy that was supposed to take a leap. Grady Jarrett was talking about him, that he was a player that took a big step during the small training camp that they had. He's been off the field with the COVID injury and some other injuries early in the season. So we be honest, I've talked about it before. We're playing way too many guys like Steven Means, like Charles Harris, guys that really are like 15 to 20 snap guys, but they're playing majority of the snaps because these guys are injured. So I don't really know what you guys want out of Dante Fowler, but if you be honest, we're really shorthanded, not only in the secondary, but we're shorthanded on the defensive line because they only rotate a couple guys in there because of the injuries. This last game, mainly I seen Dante Fowler playing, Steven Means on the edge. I really didn't even see Charles Harris a whole lot in this last game. And then Jacob Mariner. Those are the guys mainly that they're playing. So they basically have like a rotation of 4 guys that they're playing at that defensive end position. I thought that we were going to see a lot more of Marlon Davidson, who's been injured. I thought we were going to see a lot more of John Kaminsky, but those guys are not playing. So I don't know what tapes you guys are watching, what games you guys are watching on Sunday, but hey, Dante Fowler.
Hey, in the middle of the
splash plays. Go ahead, K-Style.
All right, so y'all said Fowler didn't do like you said. Fowler blew Adrian Peterson's ass up on that goal line. I agree with that. Did you see Tad McKinley try to talk shit to Adrian Peterson and thought he did something? And disappeared the rest of the game? That was in the first quarter.
I know, I forgot about it.
I remember that. That was the only thing he did the last 3 games. Was talk shit to Adrian Peterson. Now, like you said, Fowler might not have the sack numbers, but a lot of times that attention can open it up for other guys. Think about it. Keanu Neal got sacks. Mm-hmm. He looked reborn this past game. He looked reborn. He looked light on his feet for the first time in years. So, as long as your defense is getting sacks, one individual sack number is not what's gonna matter. You just don't want to go through a season where you only getting sacked every 7 games. Yeah, we've been through that with Mike Smith. You want the Mike Smith sack era again? Post John Abraham? I didn't think so.
Look at Smitty talking about tax should be traded for season tickets and a bucket of chicken.
Hey man, Tequila ain't got no part, got no business being on the damn football team. Put your ass down somewhere. You need to put a damn tutu on.
You need to be the first to
all
go.
That damn. He need to go.
Hold on. Here's Tag. Tag is about to join us in a second here. I trade that motherfucker for a box of Magnum condoms and a bucket of chicken.
At least you'll get a rise up out of that.
I get a rise up on Fort Industrial.
Y'all are horrible. It's horrible. These heathens
Yeah,
on this show.
look. At least I know they'll come through and like his ass.
Oh my God.
You never know what goes down on heavy hitters. I swear.
I'm sorry.
Hey, you never know. You never know.
Hey, you never know what cut. We straight shooters around here, straight from the hip.
No filter.
But
Oh,
yeah,
goodness,
like I said, Fowler's attitude, you could see it on the field. That's all we said. You can see it on the field. If the numbers don't.
Go ahead.
What you got, Mike? What you got?
Who the heck is this?
What are you talking about?
I don't know who that 299 is. All right, Michael Walker.
That's Just Rock TV or J Rock.
You know who that is? J Rock.
J Rock, $2.99.
J Rock, $2.99.
Oh yeah,
Hey man, look,
that's a steal.
J Rock.
Yeah.
Let me say this about this is where I say you have to enjoy football to understand what Dante Fowler brings. Dante Fowler was brought here to bring this team attitude, toughness, awareness, do the dirty work. He wasn't here to come here solely for sacks. This is what Tack was supposed to be. He was supposed to be the sack artist. He was brought here to be an asset to Grady Jarrett and Tack. When you don't have Tack on the field, you take away what Dante Fowler is supposed to be. He was supposed to be the guy that command the double team with he and Grady Jarrett. Those guys were supposed to be the double team guys. Tack was supposed to get the one-on-ones and he be the sack guy. This is what Vic Beasley was supposed to be. He was supposed to be the sack guy. But when you have Vic Beasley, who is a complete player, like he's only a pass rush, and you're putting him at defensive end to be a complete defensive end, there lies the freaking problem. Vic Beasley is not a complete defensive end. Dante Fowler is not a complete defensive end. He brings toughness. He brings the asset to the running game, and what we saw, he blew the hell out of Adrian Peterson. That's what he was supposed to bring to the game, to the defense. But when you have Takina McKinley, who's sitting on Twitter, pointing the fingers at everybody except his little punk ass self, the defense isn't complete. You gotta look at the defense as a whole, and that's the issue. You're looking at guys. Oh, he played defensive end. Why isn't he getting sacked? Well, he's not a sack artist. It's just like wanting Paul Soliai to be damn Warren Sapp. This motherfucker 350 pounds. He can't be Warren Sapp. He can't get sacks. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be real with players' abilities, okay? Stop. Just because he played defensive end doesn't mean he's a sack artist. I don't know if you guys know that or understand that. Just because he plays a specific position doesn't necessarily mean he has the same abilities. That's why Foye Oluokun is playing so well right now, because he is the guy that takes on the double teams and be more physical, so Deion Jones doesn't have to do all of that. Different abilities. That's why they have different positions. Strong side linebacker, middle linebacker, weak side linebacker. Different abilities. Now you may speak.
Proceed.
Hey, man, I want to address the super chat. I want to address that super chat by J Rock. Like, I really think that he was talking about Michael Walker. I really think that we're set at linebacker. As far as our three linebackers, Mike was just talking about it. We already got Deion Jones for the contract. I believe a Foye Oluokun or Oluokun, I think he has one more year left on his deal, but I think he's going to get an extension. If I was the Falcons, I'm paying him this off. Whoever the next head coach is, I'm paying him, because he's playing that Devondre Campbell role, and he's 100 times better than Devondre Campbell. I don't know if you guys watching Devondre Campbell with Arizona, but Oluokun, he's one of those guys that he can cover. As a linebacker in this league, you have to be able to cover. That was the biggest problem with Campbell. And I really think that Michael Walker is another one of those guys that he's physical. If y'all seen him in the run game, Michael Walker doesn't back down from nobody. But the reason that he plays so physical, because if you go look at his college tape, they had that man playing some defensive end. He was playing some defensive end in college. So he's a guy that knows how to take on blockers and be physical. So to me, a Foye Oluokun, Michael Walker, and Deion Jones, that's your three linebackers right there. You said it, linebacker. So, and you have Michael Walker under that rookie deal for a little while, so you can afford to go ahead and pay a Foye Oluokun, and you have that pairing of Deion Jones and Foye Oluokun. Because a Foye is good at covering the tight ends, and then you have Deion Jones that can cover the running backs out of the backfield, and you have a Foye that can be physical in the run game. Because he's another guy that I think we need to do a film breakdown on, one of us, because I don't know if you guys seen him on the goal line, but a Foye had a nice stop too. I think actually Big Low Country did one. Talking about Foye, he showed that goal line stand. I think it was against Minnesota, where Foye came down and made a stop. I think it was like on third down on that fourth down stop that we had, where Foye basically shot the gap and made a tackle in the backfield. So we're set at that linebacker position. So he's right about that. Michael Walker was definitely a steal because I didn't know how we were going to use him. When I looked at his college tape, I'm like, this guy looks like a Swiss Army knife. Like, I didn't know we were going to try to use him in like a 3-4 setting where he's like an outside linebacker, kind of like a Bud Dupree, or whether we were going to use him where he's actually dropping back in coverage and playing more of like a 4-3. We've kind of been using him in the 4-3 set where he's kind of dropping back and he's, coming up and making tackles, taking on blockers and things of that nature in the run game. But I think those three guys at linebacker, you're set. I mean, you can bring in a couple more guys to play backups, but we got our starters on that second level. I like all of those guys, man.
Go ahead, Jude. You preach, bro.
Yeah. Like you said, that college tape. Like I said, he was playing some deep cover too. I'll tell you that much. And he was hitting that line of scrimmage in less than 0.5 seconds. I'm serious. That boy used to drop back about 20 yards. They run that ball about 2 seconds. Bam, make the tackle. 5 yards at the line. I'm like, this motherfucker got some acceleration. I ain't seen no linebacker like that in Atlanta in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
I was about to say we're gonna get some questions going on, people.
That's right.
Let us know what you think.
Q&A. You guys ask what you want to hear.
There we go.
Oh, look, I will put. Okay, I'm gonna let Jamal Grant. He said, "Is it stupid to bring Dan Quinn back as GM?"
Man, take your ass. In that damn toilet bowl, all right? In that toilet bowl.
I was about to say, boy, that's that super high impact coaching right there, boy. Coach worth a damn in that game.
Oh my God!
But I was about to say, Matt, give us some input on the Michael Walker thing. I think the people want to know what you think.
Oh, me?
I said Maggie.
You said what?
Maggie
on the super chat. What you think of Michael Walker?
Oh yeah, I said yeah. I'm excited about that. To me, that's a steal.
Okay, yeah. Don't mind me. I'm still on the drowsy side of the game, so I'm hanging in with you.
No, it sounded like you said Mike. That's why I was looking like.
That's what I said.
I thought.
Yeah, that's what I thought. My bad. And I'm over here multitasking at the same time. Y'all can never. I'm here, but I'm never there. I'm just saying.
It's not Edwards, dog. It's not Edwards, man.
It's not Edwards.
My bad. I should pay attention more.
Got a question for the chat. I got a question for all y'all.
Go ahead.
All right, go ahead.
Hey, I know you guys seen that the Jets have Quentin Williams, I think it's his name, their nose tackle. They have him on the market. They're trying to trade him. What you guys think about bringing him in? Because I think that he's a guy that could come in and help Grady Jarrett on the inside as far as those double teams. And I think if we bring somebody like a Rex Ryan in, or the defensive coordinator, I've been saying his name, the defensive coordinator for the Ravens, I really think that he could come in and possibly do some things. What y'all think about Quentin Williams? Y'all think he's a guy that we should look at, possibly depending on what they want for him? I'm not giving them a first round pick for him, but I might give them maybe a second round. What y'all think?
Talking about the nose tackle from Alabama.
Yeah, Quentin Williams. Yeah, he's on a trading block right now.
Shit, bring that ass here. Fuck it. Like I said, you need to admit you. The only reason I say that because you need bodies on that defensive line.
Yeah,
because
definitely. One
thing Steven means, he is not playing mean. I don't see it in him. Second of all, usually I forget the guy's name. I know he's hyphenated. What it called? I forgot his name.
Jacob Tatoy Mariner.
Yeah. I always get his name confused with somebody else, but I don't see too much problem like that. Because it's like he'll stand out, but then it's like he'll stand out for 30 seconds, and then 59 minutes and 30 seconds we don't see him.
Yeah,
I make that play, and plus he's young enough too to where if you do give up that second round pick, it's basically getting a young player. But you're getting a young player that has NFL experience. Mm-hmm. So I'll take it.
Before you go, Mike, I just want to say one thing. What I would kind of do before I pitch it to you. What I'm thinking for the new regime, I don't know what they're going to do. But personally, I think that we have the guys to play a 3-4. Me and Mike's been talking about it. And I feel like you bring him in, you can kind of build on that 3-4. We already are running 3-4, like some 3-4 scheme already. We've been talking about it. We've been running 3-4, letting Dante Fowler and those guys stand up in that 2-point stance on the outside. So I would bring him in and start to build this 3-4 scheme. That's what I would do. But go ahead, Mike. I'm gonna kick you. What you think,
I'll say this. You're going to have to pay them. Let's be honest. New York is just trying to get out of paying this guy because he is a baller. If you can somehow convince him to take a lesser deal and play under $10 million, I would do it. But it's not because of lack of talent. They want to go in a different direction. And at this point, any assets that New York has at this current time, they're just trying to open up space for the next coach and, kind of do what John Gruden did with the Oakland Raiders. They just getting rid of everybody. It's just a fire sale. And this is the reason why I say even with the Falcons, if the Falcons were trying to rebuild, they would have been shipped off Tack. It would have been shipped off Keanu O'Neal. These guys on their last year of their deal. So they know that they are going to get picks for these guys, compensation picks for the guys. So as far as Quentin Williams is concerned, I think the only reason why he's at this point in time on the trading block is because they're trying to at least get something for him for the next guy regime. But as far as his skill set, I honestly thought the Falcons would and should have went up to get him. To pair him with Grady Jarrett is absolutely scary. Running a 3-4 scheme with those guys, Quentin Williams has a motor like Grady Jarrett. Those guys are absolutely relentless. I've done the film on this guy, and he's a problem. Anybody who knows Georgia and seen what he did against Georgia, man, against that offensive line of Georgia, and those guys, like he was giving what's the guy, the offensive tackle for the Patriots right now?
I know he's talking about.
The tackle.
Oh, and not Andrew Thomas. No, what the other one? I
Is it? No, it's not Ed Thomas, but
He played for
I'll
the
get it.
Giants.
But
yeah,
Yeah, I can't remember his name. I know you're talking
I
about
can't
though. He
remember
got
his name.
injured his first
But
season. Yeah.
yeah.
yeah. But those guys, like he was giving that guy, he was giving a problem, and
They done?
he's a defensive tackle, much like. Say that again.
They said Isaiah Wynn is his name. Mike.
Win. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. That guy, he was giving him a run for his money, and he's playing against tackles. Anytime you have a defensive tackle playing against tackles, and he's really getting around them, getting through them, he's a problem. So you pair him up with Grady Jarrett, and both of those guys are playing the 4-eye. There's not a lot you can do. You can't combat two defensive tackles who are essentially between the tackle and the guards, and they can go inside and outside at any given time. Because he can beat the guard, he can beat the tackle, he can beat the tight end. So you're forced to play those guys straight up. And anytime you play Grady Jarrett and Quentin Williams straight up, man, you can do anything you want to in the middle of that formation. Like that, you have to give these guys attention. So with that being said, you can play with even little punk behind Tack. You can pay him a couple $1 million, and he'll end up getting 10 sacks or whatnot because you got these two guys that essentially killing not only your tackles but your guards. And I'm probably going over a lot of people's head with all this damn football terminology, but anytime you have two guys that are commanding both guard positions and tackle positions, that's a problem. That's a nightmare for any offensive line. And that defense will be absolutely scary. So I love the idea of bringing Quentin Williams, but it has to be for the right deal, man. That right there would be absolutely beautiful to have him team with Grady Jarrett.
Yeah, man. I hope we bring them in, but I don't know what they asked for. Like you said, it's a fire sale. It's just like what the Dolphins was doing last year when they were just letting go all of their star players. But I hope we really take a look at it, see what they asked for, give the Jets a call just to see what they want for them. Because I mean, what's the worst that can happen? You at least bring them in. You know what I'm saying? Make that call, see what they're asking for. If the number's too high or they want a first round pick, we might not want to do it, but because you always can find a nose tackle, but he's extremely talented. So you compare him with Grady Jarrett, people will see Dante Fowler and those guys get more sacks. Like you talked about, it's going to free all of those guys up.
Yeah. Because I was about to say, if you had those two together, it would remind you of that Jacksonville defensive line from back then. What was it? Strong and Henderson? Stroud and Henderson.
Yeah,
that'd be nice.
Yeah. Woo!
That'd be nice.
Yeah, that was
that'd be some nice and red and black.
Mm-hmm.
Because I said Malik, the fans said they want a second rounder for Williams. But but the thing is, we still gotta look at, do we have the space to keep?
And also the next head coach, does he want all his picks? And that's like, you kind of have to get the, if they already have an idea of the coach that they want to bring in, like they have to have the conversations with him right now to see if he wants to pick or he wants to kind of have a fire sale, so to speak, get rid of certain people on the defensive side of the ball. If they have to, kind of sacrifice someone on the offensive side of the ball, you kind of got to get his post as far as, and this is the reason why not Dan Quinn, but Rich McKay and Arthur Blank have said, like, they're not making any moves because you can't make any moves because you don't know what the next head coach is thinking. Whether does he want to spend money via free agency? Does he like the players on the current roster? Does he want to get a handful of picks so he can make the necessary moves during the draft to get go up in the draft to go get a guy like Julio Jones who thinks is a special player in the draft? Like, these are the things that you don't know. And like I said before, people love to make assumptions about players before the draft actually happens, before we see their combine numbers. How many times that we've seen players in college that we thought was going to have an explosive combine, and they look like absolute trash in the combine. Jake Fromm, but yeah, like that's what I'm talking about. Everybody said he was going to be a number 1 pick. He's going to be a first round pick. That dude looked like absolute garbage in the combine. You know what I'm saying? So, like these are the things you got to wait. Like I always had this wait and see attitude because you don't know. Even your boy, I don't know if you guys saw it earlier today, but they saying your boy is rumors already stating that Trevor Lawrence may stay for his senior season in Clemson. So all this damn, we need to tank Trevor and all this shit. Look, your ass might be tanking for the wrong motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? You might, but you might be tanking for the wrong person. You might be tanking for damn Trent Dilfer. You know what I'm saying? The next Trent Dilfer. You up here tanking for guys you don't even want. You basically getting the number 1 pick for a guy that's absolute trash.
I'll take it for Bo Nix.
Wait to see, dog.
Bo Nix.
And that's what Auburn fans. This is Auburn fans saying this, man.
Yeah, man.
Exactly.
And J-Rock killing it with they go to another $2.99 in the
$2.99
super chat. Hey, and look, he's talking about my boy Marlon Davidson, War Eagle from Auburn. Like I said, we don't know what Marlon Davidson is. He ain't played. That's what I keep telling you. Like, calm down. Like everybody on Dante Fowler neck. We got guys that ain't even playing because of COVID. We ain't seen Brady Jarrett was talking all that stuff about John Cominsky. John Cominsky ain't even seen the field for real. So I'm like, as much as we want to get on this team, he ain't even seen the field. Like, yeah, we can keep getting on this. Like, and what scares me, why I have hope for this Falcons team is because even though we're not healthy, we're in every single one of these games. Like, those are 2 playmakers possibly, John Cominsky, Marlon Davis. That didn't even play on Sunday against Detroit. Everybody know we should have beat Detroit. Everybody knows we should have beat Chicago. Everybody know we should have beat Dallas. We definitely should have beat Dallas. But shoulda, woulda, coulda. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. But at the end of the day, some of these playmakers are not even out here. Like Marlon Davidson, he didn't play in that game. Like John Cominsky hasn't played. Like I said, I thought we were going to have a rotation. I thought we were going to be able to bring 4 new guys in and all that. I was talking all that stuff before the season started, but none of that came to fruition because everybody's injured. So it's like, or on the COVID list. So as much as we want to keep saying like this defense sucks and stuff like that, it's like, really, we got to see the full defense out there because we ain't seen the full defense, to be honest. So we don't really know what Marlon Davidson is as a pro. I know what he was at Auburn. He was a dog at Auburn, and I keep saying it. He was supposed to be Quentin Williams. I'm talking about Quentin Williams coming in. He was supposed to be that guy to play the nose next to Grady Jarrett, but he's been injured. So we have to rely on Tyler. We've been having to rely on Tyler Davidson, and Tyler Davidson pass rushing is not what he does. He's just basically a run defender mainly. That's not what his role is, and that's what Mike keeps talking about. Like the casual football fan doesn't realize that these guys have roles, and some of these guys we don't have in here to play their roles. Because I've been calling John Cominsky. He's built like Patrick Kearney. That's who he reminds me of. So really, I don't like to see him in that nose. I want to see him out the defensive end position. I think Anthony Wright said it earlier in the chat. Like we should place Marlon Davidson at the nose, and then place John Cominsky out there on the defensive end. But I want to see us just have a full healthy team to actually see what these guys look like, so they can get established in their roles. Once we see that, then we can kind of make a judgment. So it's kind of like we're on that wait and see, like Mike was saying. We got to just wait and see. We don't know.
Yeah, this is the great value version of this defense.
Exactly. The watered down version of this defense.
Exactly. Well, why I say I can't believe it's not butter. That's what this defense is right now until we get the 4 pieces.
Exactly.
But
you can move Quinn Williams up and down. He said defensive end. You can move him up and down the defensive line.
Exactly. He could be the Bobby Boucher on the defense. Put him anywhere. But man, let's see what else we got up here. I know somebody
said TV shouldn't got fired. Man, what, Sean? If you don't sit your behind down. Like, put that man in timeout, man.
What
Thomas Mitchell fired. Man, you don't sit down somewhere with that nonsense.
He said he shouldn't have got fired.
Yeah, he should. Yeah, he shouldn't have got fired. Man, what, bro? Like I said, some of y'all.
He's trolling.
That was a troll comment right
He's
there.
trolling. He's trolling.
Exactly, that's a troll comment. I was like, shit. I'm about to say, Thomas Dimitrov shouldn't have got fired. Shit. you looking at the wrong team then. You looking at the wrong product on the field.
I agree with this comment right here.
Mm-hmm.
Need us a Danny Sheldon right there, Shelton. We need us a big boy. We need Rikishi. We need somebody in that big way. You can't move them big jokers out of there. Like K-Styles was talking about. We need us a Marcus Stroud and Henderson in the middle. We need us a Williams Ball.
Vince Wilfork. That's all I gotta say.
Vince Wilfork. There you go. We need us a Vince Wilfork, Ted Washington, all of them guys, man. We need us a Tony Saragusa. You just sit them in the middle and you can't move.
Mm-hmm. And it forces the offense to go away from them.
Exactly. And we know we got the speed to get on the edges. So you run a toss, you in trouble because like Foyer, Michael Walker, and Deion Jones, you ain't getting around them around the edge.
Hey, shoot!
It's
like I said, you just need them for 2 plays. That's all you need, 2 plays.
There go another name, y'all. Where is that? There it is.
Akeem Hicks.
He was wrecking havoc last night on Monday Night Football against the Rams. He was everywhere, dog. That dude there.
Oh my God! Somebody brought out one of my favorite Falcons of all time. And Smitty did it again. He came in with a clutch one. Grady Jackson.
Grady Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
That man said, "Is Dirk Cutter a problem? Yes or no, man?"
You ain't looking at the film. You ain't looking at the problem.
I'm gonna tell him like this: he don't have a job. It's for a reason. That man don't have a job. So it must have been a problem.
Hey man. I'm starting over. Like I'm getting rid of everybody.
Yeah, I'm looking.
Yeah, I'm getting rid of everybody on that coaching staff. I'm not bringing anybody back. You got to start completely over. The coach is dead. Has to stop. It's complete.
Hey, look, we get a Falcons Nation on the side.
Everybody keeps saying the Falcons are small up front. They're actually much bigger this year than they've been in a while. So it's not necessarily they're smaller up front. Tack, he's like 250. Dante Fowler's about 260, 250, 260. Grady Jarrett is about 290, 300 pounds. He actually gained weight himself. Tyler Davidson's about 310, 315, somewhere in the neighborhood. Aaron Bailey, he's about 290, almost 300 himself. He's a big guy. Marlon Davidson, you look at Marlon Davidson, he's another guy that's about 290, 300. You like John Kaminsky is a guy about 280. So aren't necessarily small up front, but you still need that one guy in the middle that you can't move. And that's the issue with the defense. You can move around the defense. You can maneuver around this defensive line. So if you don't have a guy like a Danny Shelton that you can't move out of the middle, that's the issue. You can't protect Deion Jones. It's not necessarily that you got to have a guy that is big, 350 pounds, to just focus on, stopping the run or whatnot. It's not that. Those defensive tackles are there mainly to protect the linebackers, and that's the issue. If you have a 350-pound guy, that guy is there to protect Deion Jones, to protect Foyer Olakun, protect those offensive linemen from getting on those guys. You can't move a Grady Jarrett. You can't move a guy like Vince Wilfork. You can't move a guy like Paul Soliai. So, in essence, your boy Curtis Lofton. Like even when Curtis Lofton was here, the reason why his tackle total was so high because he was in the front in the middle of the offensive line to protect your linebackers. That's what it's about. You got to protect your linebackers. Keep those offensive linemen off of them. Prevent them from getting to the second level. So when it all comes down to it, man, it's like you do need size. Do need size, and they see that now they're not getting pushed around as much as they were in the past. Yeah, there's room for improvement, but for the most part, the Falcons aren't getting pushed around. They're not getting bullied up front.
We got another super chat. $4.99.
$4.99. Well, basically, he's saying what we've been saying. We say we in salary cap hell Falcons. Well, except for the tanking part, and trade back to get all the cheap rookies they can. Bait another team to trade up and load up.
I don't know about that.
Now the salary cap part, I agree.
Hold. We gotta stop this. Stop. How many times are we going to say tank? Tank never works in any sport. Philadelphia been tanking. Trust the process. And you see where they at now? Ben Simmons is on the trade block. Joel Embiid is on the trading block. Trust the process. That's what y'all want to do? The Browns have been tanking for 30 years. And they still garbage. Dolphins. They ain't been since Dan Marino retired. 40 years since Dan Marino did anything. They still ain't crap. They ain't been nothing since the damn 70s. They've been tanking for years. Where they at? Where they at though?
The bad news bears.
Tanking does not work. It does not work. Tanking does not work. You see what tanking did for Cleveland? They got LeBron James, and they couldn't do anything. LeBron said, guess what? Forget this crap. We can't build a damn team, so I'm leaving. I'm taking my talent to South Beach. Why? Because tanking doesn't work. It does not work, people. What are you guys are getting this from? These are dreams and hopes. This is not Madden. Tanking does not work. It does not work.
I agree with you. You forgot one team, Mike. The New York Jets. They ain't been nowhere since Joe Namath. Yeah,
Joe
man.
Namath.
Yeah, man. Like tanking don't work. Yeah, tanking don't work. Ask Cleveland. They 30 quarterbacks in from tanking.
Exactly. Like I said, they got stop. They trying to think basketball tanking is the same as football. Football players can't. You can't tank in football if you try.
I wasn't getting necessarily on you. It's most. I've been seeing this. We've been seeing this all over the place. We need to tank for Trevor and all this type of stuff. Like, yeah, Trevor may be something, but let's say if he does, we do get him. You still got to address the defense. You still got to get around him. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, man. Go ahead. Well, I'll see.
Yeah. Woosa. But yeah, like I said, tanking in football is impossible. You can't tank. Like I said, that sets a bad message for your team anyway. Like, the only way we're gonna be good is we're gonna lose a bunch of games to get one player. Then like the rest of your players on your team gonna be looking like, well, we playing for him. All he gonna do is only way we're gonna get good is we're gonna lose games.
Exactly.
That mentality doesn't work for football players. You can do it in soccer, baseball, basketball, whatever you want, but football damn show ain't working.
Mm-hmm.
It's two reasons why tanking don't work. You mess around there and not go 100% out there on that football field. You mess around and get hurt.
Exactly.
And another reason that tanking you get hurt. And another reason that tanking doesn't work is because once you tank, you still got to draft the right players. And that's why I give John Gruden and those guys credit. When they let go of those guys that they let go, the guys that when you draft a guy, you never know if this guy's gonna pan out in the league. So you can have all the draft picks you want. You can have 10 first-round draft picks in 1 year. But if you don't draft the right guys that fits your scheme, because sometimes it's not even about the player not being talented. They have to fit the scheme that you're playing. And that's the biggest thing. We always talk about Vic Beasley. If you draft a great player, but he doesn't fit the scheme you're playing, look at Josh Norman, for example. He was in Carolina balling. But then he got that big payday from the Redskins, and he was never the same because he didn't fit that scheme. And sometimes I think players kind of get the big head, and I'm always pro player about getting your money, but sometimes it makes you look bad when you go to the highest bidder, but that team doesn't play a scheme that fits your play style. Because then you kind of revert back to being like, it almost looks like you stole money. Like Josh Norman is a quality corner. It was just, he went to a scheme that he didn't fit because he was going after the money. And he really should have tried to stay in Carolina. He possibly would have had to take less money, but that scheme was perfect for him. Because if you guys remember when he was in Carolina, he was a Pro Bowler, but he's never been the same ever since he went to Washington, and now he's in Buffalo. But it's all about fit, scheme, and it's about drafting the right player. Like I said, you never know. When you drafting a guy, just because a guy's good in college, you never know how he's going to do in the NFL. And that's my whole thing with Marlon Davis. We don't know right now what Marlon Davis is because we ain't seen him enough out there. We don't have enough tape on him. It's the same thing when you go into that draft and you're picking guys. It don't matter how high you pick them, they got to pan out eventually. And you never know. You might roll snake eyes. You never know.
Just like you said with Josh Norman, you also remember that front seven, that Carolina front seven is one of the best front sevens in the league. So they hid all his inabilities.
Weaknesses. Yeah, they hit his
weaknesses was hidden.
Exactly.
When they started going, and when he took that money, and just Buffalo just a couple of weeks ago, he was Superman in that hole when he ran up against Derrick Henry.
Yeah, man.
So yeah, but yeah, like you said, that scheme, and that fit is the number one thing. Like I said, you can get a Trevor Lawrence, but he may not fit your scheme, or you can get a Jared Lorenzen who might fit your scheme, and you might win more. So at the end of the day, your scouting department and your coaching staff and your GM all has to be in one accord. It can't be, I want this guy, but I want this guy, and I want this guy. Everybody's got to be together.
Exactly.
Okay.
Hey. Well, we're at the part of the show where we're about to hit the 2-point conversion. Not 1, but 2-point conversion. Who wants to go ahead and kick it off?
Hey, man, I'll kick it off because I never do. So let me go ahead and kick this off real quick. It's going to be real fast. Thursday night. This is for this Thursday night game against Carolina. We know what we need to do. We faced them already. This is the revenge game. We go down or go up to Carolina. We already know what we got to do. We know the scheme that they play. They play the cover 3 just like we play the cover 3. We know what we're going to have to do on offense. Run the football consistently, play for 60 minutes, as K-Styles always say. And the coaching has to be smart in this game. We have to play smart. We can't come in there with preconceived notions, as we've been talking about. I hope that they actually are watching this. Most likely not, but hopefully somebody gets this tape to them. We can't come into the game with preconceived notions of this is what we're going to do. We're not going to make no in-game adjustments because trust me, Carolina is going to do something different in this game than they did last game. They got nothing to lose. They're a young team, and their coach is an offensive-minded coach. So they're going to try to do some different things in this game, but we pretty much know what they do on defense. So with our offense, we got to hit on all cylinders, but it has to start with the running game. And I want to see some creativeness out of the running game. Hopefully we don't come in here and just run up the gut, first down, run up the gut, second down, run up the gut, third down, play action pass. Like we got to mix it up in this game. But I really think that we got a great chance of winning this game. I really think that a lot of teams are going to be sleeping on us, even though Carolina is one of those teams that's a rivalry game. I think that they're kind of sleeping on us because since Raheem Morris has taken over, this team look completely different than when we faced Carolina. So I hope they're ready for some guys to be out there hit. Because on the defensive side of things, I don't know if you guys are noticing, but the defense played a lot better. Even in the running game, I went and looked at the stats from last game. They only rushed for 66 yards, I believe, last game against Detroit. And they have one of the better three-headed monsters in the league with DeAndre Swift, Adrian Peterson, and Kerryon Johnson. So we did a pretty good job of tackling. We did a good job of bringing that physicality. So we bring that same physicality to this game. What's his name? Mike Davis that ran through us that first time. He got another thing coming in this game because them guys are playing physical. So we do our thing. We come and we play physical in this game, and we are smart with our coaching. We're not just going for it and coming in the game with these preconceived notions. We should win this game handily. I really think the Falcons are going to win this game handily. We're pissed off. Matt Ryan and those guys are ticked off about this last game, and we know that the refs really screwed us with a lot of the calls this last game. As much as I don't like to bring the refs and the zebras into it, we got robbed. We got hosed in a lot of calls in this last game. So I really expect in this game against Carolina, I think those guys on the short week are really going to be motivated to prove that last week was a fluke. And I'm gonna leave it at that.
I'll go next, but before I do, I want to hit this 199 super chat that came in the clutch. Todd Mullis, 199. So basically, he's just saying, how did you feel about the Lindstrom pick? How you feel about Chris Lindstrom?
Oh man, me and Mike have talked about Chris Lindstrom. Him and Caleb McGarry. Them guys are monsters, man. Especially when you allow them to be physical. That's why I keep saying, like, we have to run the football. Even when you're not getting a lot of yardage, just let those guys go up and be aggressive. These guys are 300+ pound guys. Let them go forward instead of backwards. It's always to be aggressive. How can you be aggressive backpedaling in pass protection? You can't be aggressive like that. The way you be aggressive, you run at them, punch them in the mouth, go at them. Like, one thing I like about the Rams, everybody talks about Sean McVay and his passing game and stuff like that being soft. If you watch Monday Night Football, they were trying to punch the Bears in the mouth. I put it on my Twitter. They punching the Bears in the mouth right now. Like, they swinging back. They were running with that kid Brown. He was running right at them guys. Even though the Bears had one of the better defenses, they were running right at the teeth of that defense, and he was letting his offensive line be aggressive. So you can only be aggressive going forward. Don't have these guys going backwards the whole game on their heels. Because when you're trying to pass protect, you're on your heels. But when you're running, you running the ball, you're doing what football was made to do: move another man against his will, push them guys around, and that's what Caleb McGarry and Chris Lindstrom like to do. Them guys like to bully the defensive line. So let them guys be bullies. Let them guys go forward and let those guys be aggressive. You can't be aggressive. The reason that a lot of people say the Falcons are a soft team is because Dirk Cutter want to throw the ball all over the yard all the time, and he don't want to run the football. If you run the football, that's how you punch a defense in the mouth. That's how you wear them out. You don't wear them out in the passing game when you're throwing the ball over their head. You wear them out in the trenches, and you make them quit.
Well, I'm gonna appreciate everybody tuning in tonight with the Atlanta Falcon Nation family, with the heavy hitters. Make sure you follow everybody's handles. Hold on, I'm gonna get it right. Jew Talk Sports, Maggie T, Mad Mike over there. If I can get the pointing right, and K Styles here. But all I want to see the same fight. I want to see the same aggression. I want to see the play calling better. Like I said, the coaches can. Like I said, I don't want nobody comfortable in this game. That's all I want to see. I don't want to see no comfortable. I want to see everything like everybody's job is on the line. Because the trade, like I said, Matt Ryan had to address the trade rumors. He said he wants to be here and he ain't going nowhere. Julio said despite 1-6, he ain't going nowhere. So y'all can kill that now. They said they in it for the long haul, no matter what season it is. Now, I'm just gonna leave it at that. Like I said, I ain't worried about no playoffs, none of that stuff. I just want some consistency.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I guess I would, clean house a little bit. I want everybody. I appreciate everybody tuning in. Matt Mike Sports, You Talk Sports, Just K Styles.
Hold on. Let me get mine in, Mama. Let me get mine
I ain't
in,
no
Mama.
bingo.
I got to get my two. Oh, I got to get my two in. I got to say this. I got to say this, man.
Well, I'll be right back.
Let me say this. Yeah, just take a couple minutes. Because this yeah, I got to say this. I got a bone to pick with a few people. All right. What y'all don't know here, Atlanta Falcons Nation, we do things a little different here. What we do here, we give you nothing but the unadulterated truth. Okay? I don't give a shit if you like it or not. You don't like the truth. In fact, sometimes the truth hurts. The truth does hurt. I don't know if you guys remember that song, Dr. Dre and Truth Hurts. Yeah, sometimes the truth does hurt. That shit does hurt. Okay? You don't have to like it. You're gonna get here is the absolute truth. And what the truth is that the Atlanta Falcons don't have money to be going out and just throwing the shit away because y'all and y'all feelings about a particular quarterback, a particular player, everybody. Okay? We're stuck with Julio and Matt for the next 2 years because we invested in our core players. That's the fact. I'm not saying keep Matt Ryan and Julio Jones around because I love these guys. No, I'm not saying that because I love these guys. I'm actually looking at the salary cap so you motherfuckers don't do any of that. I'm looking at the numbers, $79 million, $49 million next year, Julio 28, 30 million this year, and next year is just about as high. $20 million almost, look again, over $100 million. And that's just talking, I'm just talking about Julio and Matt. You can't move Jake Matthews because you gave him a massive contract. You invested in the rookies. You invested in Grady Jarrett. You invested in Deion Jones. You don't have the money. It's simple. It's the truth. So stop with the narratives of we are just saying this because we love Matt Ryan. Oh, y'all are Matt Ryan. Y'all are Ryan-ites. Y'all Ryan-ites. Well, we Ryan-ites. Y'all some crying-ass bitches, okay? Stop crying. He's not going anywhere. Do you understand? In order to tank, you have to have a team that is older. One, they have to be older, an older team, and their contract has to be close to expiring. You don't terminate contracts in the first couple of years of it. It's virtually impossible to just cut contracts in the first couple of years in it. Because the structure, the way the contracts are structured is players are getting their money up front. Guaranteed money. With guaranteed money, you're getting in the first couple of years. After that, the first 2-3 years, that's when they're getting their money. After that, that's when you'll be able to get rid of. Matt Ryan and Julio Jones just signed their contract just last year. You guys forgot about that? You probably don't know because you don't do research and you don't read. So I really appreciate those who understand the fact that there is a contract, there is a such thing as a salary cap, and stop coming at not only myself, Jew, Kevin, and the guys, or Jazzy Jeff, pound for pound, all these guys. We've been saying this over and over and over again. There's a such thing as a salary cap. We're stuck. We're not saying this shit just to be saying it. So like you guys got to like wise up, read a book, Google. I don't give a fuck what you do. Do one of them. Do all three of them. But wise up, smarten up. I love y'all dudes to death, but some of you guys are just incredible. Some of you guys are just incredible with look, we're in salary cap hell. We can't. It's virtually impossible for us to tank and rebuild. So with that being said, man, I truly appreciate every one of you guys. All right, but I am not here to kiss y'all ass. I'm going to give you nothing but the truth. Period. I'm not the Falcoholic. I'm not all these other people. I'm not ESPN to give y'all stories and headlines because y'all want to be satisfied. That's not what you're going to get here. Period, point blank. And that's all I got to say about that, man. And like I said, I got to get that off my chest because I'm seeing a lot of people just coming up here hating. I don't know what I'm talking about. We don't know what we're talking about. Maggie don't know what she's talking about because she is female and all that shit. They all don't know what y'all talking about. We're going to get you nothing but the truth and the facts over here. And I know I'm going to cursed out by Maggie by the end of this show. But I had to get that out, man. I'm tired of seeing all this. Y'all just saying this because of Maggie.
I'm sorry. That's like I said, I got a whole bunch of multitasking going on and some things going on in the house. So my bad. That was me. So you ain't gonna get cussed out today. Maybe tomorrow. Some of these fans about to get cussed out though.
I'm looking at one.
Hey, Mark,
oh no. Let me say this. I want to say this. Okay, Mark 504. You a Saints fan, and you're trolling. You're watching a Falcon podcast.
So they ain't got nothing.
Where's your Saints podcast so we can watch? I mean, you can troll us all you want. You not gonna stop us from not being Falcon fans.
Falcons fan. We're gonna follow him. Where you at, 504?
Oh, I'm looking at him right now. He got the only two videos I've seen on his channel is some mobile game from last year. I don't see no Saints. I don't see no Saints. Nothing. Ain't following no Saints sites or anything like that. So yeah, like I said, you can keep trolling. You can keep trolling us. You won't. Like I said, you're building our platform, but you're a Saints fan and you're building a Falcon fans platform.
Appreciate your view.
So we appreciate the view. So you keep talking your shit.
You love us.
Yeah. You probably probably a 13, 14-year-old that just want to troll.
Well, on that note, I appreciate all the fans. I'm seeing all kinds of fans in here. So it's really kind of appreciated.
Oh, look, I'd rather be.
They be trolling. Some of them be giving us props and everything. So I appreciate every last hater, supporter from any team. But let's go ahead and clean house. Everyone wondering where can you go and kind of chat after the fact. We do have a Discord, Atlanta Falcons Nation. I'm gonna put the link back in the chat. Make sure y'all follow that. I be in there too. You know what I'm saying? So if y'all want to talk some football, y'all just want to, after the fact, post game, anything, go in there and talk your shit amongst other Falcons fans. You know what I'm saying? So appreciate y'all. Make sure tomorrow you're watching ATLian Sports Zone, same time, 8:00. It's Big Low Country and Mr. Terror Artist Photo 4. So those guys right there, they great too. With that film breakdown by Low, Madden by Mr. Tonio. Yeah, I will get something else right there. It's like a different show every day. Every day. Mm-hmm. I appreciate y'all tuning in for each and every show. And then right after that, make sure y'all check out this Some Lust Exchange. It's unrelated. I'm going to go ahead and put my cheap plug in there.
Little kids stay away. Please stay away, little kids.
Lust Exchange is not for the babies. You got to be 18 and older to watch because there you go. What in the world? Because you do be saying what in the world on my show. So y'all make sure y'all tune in that after Mr. Sport Zones right here, Mr. Big Low Country Coach.
Hey, I'm gonna say one more thing. Rather be a fake Will Smith than a Jesse Smollett looking motherfucker.
That man said fake Will Smith. Man, you don't sit corny ass down somewhere. Dusty ass shoes. Dusty ass.
But yes, y'all tomorrow night, post game for the weekend, and we actually thinking about a third show. So we recruiting. You know what I'm saying? I got my emails. I'm hitting some folks up. So you never know. You never know who you might see. But appreciate y'all. Till the next time. We are the Atlanta Falcons Nation. We are the nation. Remember that. And we out.
All the nation.
Remember that. We are the nation.
Yes, sir.